Here we go. We're going to call this meeting to order. This is the Policy and Management Subcommittee meeting. Let's do roll call.
Autumn Klaus here.
And the reason we did roll call is because Ms. Klaus is our school board student rep, and missing one other school board member besides myself, Autumn will be sitting in as a school board member this evening while we conduct business. I'm Ken Falsgraf, and we are joined by staff members
Jackie Erdrich,
Eric Sahakian,
Paula Chamberlain,
and the ever popular
Alex Dulce.
Thank you. We'll call this meeting to order at 5:10 p.m. and I will ask Dr. Sahakian to say the Pledge of Allegiance.
all right. Please stand up. Right hand over your heart. Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So now, looking forward 20 years and understanding that Ms. Klaus will be asked, did you actually conduct the meeting? And she will say yes by conducting the meeting for us. Thank you.
Okay. Do we have any public comments?
Not at this moment.
Not this moment. Okay. So let's review CSBA updated policies. Mr. Falsgraf, would you like to take over for that?
No.
Okay, cool. So, would you please like to?
Yes, thank you, Ms. Claus. So the first one is Bylaw 9322, which has to do with the agenda and the meeting minutes. We had brought this to the Policy and Management Committee the last meeting in February, and there was some concerns about the options that were being given by CSBA. So I am bringing it back, and what we did is, as far as the amount of time that is given to public comments and how long each person can speak and everything, we're bringing it back with the way it is currently written in our board agenda every month. So that is the only change from when we first reviewed this last month. Any questions?
My comment is that has worked since 1887, so I think it's sufficient.
So we can move this one forward.
Agreed.
Thank you. Next one that I would like to discuss, and you will find the high school graduation requirements, which is, it used to be called Regulation 6146.1, now it's a policy. And last time we updated and board approved this was 21 years ago in 2005. Very outdated, as you can see, it's a half page. The new policy, which was just revised February 1st, 2026 by CSBA, is several pages long. I will try to summarize this for you, and even just as a summary, you'll see in my notes that are attached, it's like 3-4 pages long. So the old board policy states that parents shall receive notification that starting in 2005-2006 school year and each year thereafter, each student completing the 12th grade shall be required to successfully pass the state's high school exit examination as a condition of graduation. That's pretty much what the policy, what the regulation at the time said. Below is now the new policy from CSBA. It gives which courses are required. So the students have to take 3 courses in English, 2 courses in math, one of them being Algebra 1 or Mathematics 1, and then one other additional math course. And sometimes algebra, some students finish it and pass it in 8th grade. They still have to complete 2 courses at a high school level between 9th and 12th grade. So they would still need to take 2 in high school. You have 2 courses in science, including biological and physical science. 3 courses in social studies. They would like to see a U.S. history and geography class, world history, culture, and geography, and then 1 semester in American government and civics and 1 semester in economics. They would like to see 1 course in visual or performing arts, world language, or career technical education, which we have a great choice of CTE courses at our high school. We have many. 2 courses in physical education, and starting in the year 2029 and 2030, contingent on funding, they would like to see a 1-semester course in ethnic studies, and then beginning in 2030 and 31, a separate standalone 1-semester course in personal finance. There's also a section where if there's specific requirements that the board would like to add, we can. There's some students that qualify for an exemption, and it speaks very much, or a lot of this is dedicated to the highly mobile students, and it gives you a definition. The highly mobile students are our foster youth, students experiencing homelessness, former juvenile court school students, children of a military family, students who are migratory, or a student participating in a newcomer program. And then it says that students who transfer into the district anytime after completing the 2nd year of high school are considered these students. Newcomer students who is in a 3rd or 4th year of high school. And then it says that these students shall be exempt from any graduation requirements adopted from the board. So they still have to meet the state requirements, but if we have added anything as a district, they can be exempt from that. And this shall not apply if the superintendent or designee makes a finding that the student is reasonably able to complete the additional requirements. Highly mobile students need to be notified of the exemption from the local graduation requirements if the student qualifies within 30 days of transferring into the school. If student is not notified, the educational rights holder may request the exemption, and the superintendent or designee shall give them the exemption within 30 days of the request. If the superintendent or designee finds that the student can meet the requirements and does not exempt the student within the 30 calendar days of the start of the next school year, the student will be re-examined to be sure that they're still going to meet those requirements. And if not, adjustments can be made. If a student does receive the exemption, there has to be a discussion on how any requirements that are being waived may affect the student's post-secondary education or vocation plans. Also needs to be discussion and information about other options available to the student, including but not limited to a 5th year in high school, possible credit recovery, and any transfer opportunities available from the California community colleges. Consideration of the student's academic data and any other information relevant to making an informed decision on whether to accept the exemption must be used. The district shall not require or request a highly mobile student to transfer schools in order to qualify for an exemption, and shall not grant any request on behalf of that student for a transfer if the sole purpose is for that student to gain an exemption. If a highly mobile student is exempted, the exemption may not be revoked. So once they receive it, you cannot revoke that exemption. If there is a finding that a highly mobile student is reasonably able to complete district-established graduation requirements within the 5th year of high school, the superintendent or designee shall consult with student and educational rights holder of the option to remain in school for a 5th year to complete the graduation requirements and how that will affect the student's ability to gain admission into a post-secondary educational institution. We shall consult with and provide information to the student about transfer opportunities available through the California community colleges. We will also discuss, upon agreement with student and educational rights holder, permits the students to stay in school for a 5th year to complete the graduation requirements. And for a foster youth or a student who is experiencing homelessness, discuss the options to remain in the student's school of origin. When a highly mobile student is capable of meeting the 5th year of the statewide requirements, the superintendent or designee shall consult with the student and the educational rights holder regarding the following concerns or items. The student's option to remain in school for the 5th year to complete the statewide course requirement, the effects of waiving the district-established requirements and remaining in school for a fifth year of the student's post-secondary education or vocation plan, so how is that going to be affected? Other options available to the student, including but not limited to possible credit recovery, any transfer opportunities available through the California community colleges, and the student's academic data and other information relevant to making an informed decision on whether to accept the exemption and options to remain in school for a fifth year to complete the statewide coursework requirement. And you'll see a pattern where many of these things are repeated. The information regarding the educational rights of highly mobile students shall be included in the annual Uniform Complaint Procedure notifications that are distributed to students, parents and guardians, employees, and other interested parties. Annually, the district needs to report to the California Department of Education the number of students graduating from the fourth or fifth year of high school who, for the prior school year, graduated with an exemption form, district-established graduation requirements that are in addition to statewide coursework requirements. Then it goes into retroactive diplomas. Any student who completed grade 12 in the 2003, I'm sorry, there's a typo there, 2003, 2004 through 2014, 2015 school year and met all applicable graduation requirements other than the passage of the high school exit examination shall be granted a high school diploma. So if they have completed everything and were not able to pass the exit exam from the state, we could issue a diploma to them now. The district may retroactively grant high school diplomas to former students who departed California against their will while in 12th grade and did not receive a diploma because of departure interrupted their education, and they were provided that they were in good academic standing when they left. We can also do a retroactive diploma where it's interned by order of the federal government during World War II, or honorably discharged veterans of World War II, the Korean War, or the Vietnam War, provided that they enrolled in a district high school immediately preceding the internment or military service and did not receive a diploma because their education was interrupted due to the internment or military service. Our veterans who entered the military service of the United States while in grade 12 and who had satisfactorily completed the first half of the work required for 12th grade. Any former members of the military, a resident of California, and received an honorable discharge, or are current members of the military, residents of California, and a resident of California when entering the military. They were in their senior year of high school during the 2019-2020 school year, were in good academic standing and on track to graduate at the end of the 2019-20 school year as of March 1st of 2020, and were unable to complete the statewide graduation requirements as a result of the COVID-19 crisis. We would be able to give them a diploma. There's also honorary diplomas. The board may grant an honorary diploma to an international exchange student who has not completed the course of study ordinarily required for graduation and is returning back to their home country following the completion of one academic school year in the district. And we can also give an honorary diploma to a student who is terminally ill. So there's a lot of information in this one compared to what had been adopted previously. I tried to summarize, but you can see the pages, it's very long, and there's a lot of information in there that I know that it was shared with the counselors at the high school, and they say that these are the requirements that are currently being followed by the high school.
Okay.
Any questions?
I would suggest that when we're finding consult with student and educational rights holder, that should be changed to and or. Because the educational rights holder is not a parent or adult when the child hits 18.
That is true, Mr. Falls.
And also on the last one, we should consider giving a honorary diploma to anyone who is deceased during their senior year.
We can add that.
Okay, I'm good.
Any other questions or comments?
Actually, thank you, Mrs. Erdrich, for actually, consulting with the counselors, just reviewing this in detail, and thank you for the detailed report of what's, new or updated. All these elements here, they're already in practice. We just need to go ahead and just formalize it and approve by the board at this point.
Yes, so the bylaw and this new policy will be coming for first read in April to the board.
Okay.
Then we just we just concluded the education subcommittee, had a robust discussion in terms of agenda items. Tail end, the graduation requirements policy was brought up, and they'll like to go ahead and take a look at the policy itself at their next subcommittee meeting. Didn't want to steal your thunder, Dr. Chamberlain, just tying it to this topic.
So Dr. Chamberlain, I have a question for you. Because right now we're having the education committee on the same day as the policy and management. Are you going to do this, but April there's only one board meeting. Because I was gonna say, if you meet before, we can then, if the education committee is in agreement with it, we would be able to put it on the board agenda for April.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to move my meeting that night, cause I'm actually not gonna be here, but I haven't got to tell you guys yet.
Oh, okay,
My son's wrestling that week up in Vegas, so.
okay.
I'll move the committee meeting to maybe that Monday. Facilities and finances that Monday too. Oh, wait, I'm looking at the wrong month,
Okay.
But yeah, hold on.
Yeah, facilities will be that Monday.
Okay, but
We might think, since
I'll
the
see if I
policy
can
and
do that.
management group is the last one to see policies before they hit the live floor, if there's anything that changes, bring it back here before you put it back out there. So when the education subcommittee looks at it, if there's changes and recommendations, then we boot it back here.
Right.
Yeah,
There most likely won't be, I don't believe there will be.
okay.
But I will do it prior to that April board meeting. I think it's the 26th, right?
23rd.
James.
23rd, yeah.
Thanks.
Okay.
So that I'll probably move everything to the 20th, that Monday. I'll see when facilities is, and maybe I can go before or after, if that works
Yeah,
out.
facilities would likely be at, the 20th Monday, at 4,
Okay,
11.
so I could do 5 or even do before. We can talk about having, and I'll
Sure.
reach out to
Okay,
Dan. and
perfect.
then-
Okay.
But yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Thank you.
Okay, and then because this one board agenda, like I said, you can see how the notes, how long they were. I wasn't sure how long it would take to go through this, so this was the real big one that I brought this time. So we just brought these two, the one bylaw that we brought back, and this one policy.
And then, and what's on the agenda for April 23rd?
Are there any requests, Mr. Fallsgraf? Anything that you'd like for us to look into?
Just bring, I think we're getting clearer on coach, hiring, behavior, expectations. I think we're really clear on that. Bringing that back in
Okay.
is not a positive thing.
Okay.
I don't know how big our audience is. If I need to repeat that comment out there, I'd be happy to.
I have a question. It's probably more for education, but are there any policies or requirements or structured standards for how the ethnic studies and the finance classes will be taught? We have a curriculum. Is it we kind of do what we want?
So knowing that they're not even required till 29/30, 30/31, my recommendation would be to wait because the curriculum will change. Like say we said, oh, we're
yeah,
gonna
it's
do
because
this,
it's always changing.
it's gonna change.
Yeah.
And
But they
like-
haven't released anything, I'm assuming.
No, but I know what other districts are looking at with the ethnic studies is they're embedding it into a social studies class.
That makes sense.
And by the time this comes up, we'll have additional textbook adoption policy, like
Yeah.
requirements. And they'll be more aligned with the requirements, so that would be my thought,
yeah. Then
for
we
both
already-
of these classes, so I'll reach back
We
out.
already have an idea what to do for the finance.
We're already teaching that, but it may be, so
Yeah, but it might.
my thought is if this is gonna be a class that's gonna be required by all students, it's probably, so right now our finance class is more of,
It's an elective, mainly for upperclassmen, and also it's only a year. It's a year, not a semester long.
Yeah, there will be a lot of, even on personal finance, it's really hard to do a standalone one semester class unless we
Yeah.
want to go back and do a standalone one semester health class. There'll be a lot of questions about what this might look like, or if this class 2 can also be embedded in a current class that we have. And if it's a graduation requirement, like which grade level's gonna take it, you know, there's a lot of
Yeah, there's a lot
discussion that has to
but we
happen.
have time.
We have
There's a lot of time.
Mhm.
Yeah, and just because I know how quickly curriculum and textbooks change,
Yeah.
I mean, we're
I was just
a
wondering
little
if the
bit
state
out on
like
that.
was a little strict on that for some reason. I guess not.
No, they're not really. Now, the state will often recommend curriculums, but because these, usually you have a lot of leeway. It'll be really interesting just to see as we get closer what the expectations are.
Yeah.
At the high school level, even the textbook adoption policy is completely different. Like K-8, when we do a textbook adoption, it has to be like vetted, it has to be approved by the board, it has to be to the public at the board.
Access.
We do, thank you, we provide access. We do that at the high school as well. It's not required, but we do it because it provides consistency, and we want to also communicate with our board
Yeah.
members and our community stakeholders regarding curriculum and
Yeah,
textbooks.
good, that's important.
Right, so we would go through that same process.
Okay, great.
But I mean, even though I know this came up at our meeting, but now seeing these dates, I don't even know.
That's not to worry about
Yeah,
it.
it's really not.
Still time,
Yeah.
plenty of time.
But that's a good question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, any other comments or questions? Then I would like to, okay, our next meeting is April 23rd, probably the same time.
Yes, 5 o'clock.
Okay, so then I would like to adjourn this meeting at 5:31 then.